It was actually Antiochus the Fourth, but he didn't care for the fourth in the last name. So he called himself Antiochus Epiphanes, which means Antiochus the manifest God. So you think of yourself as God in human flesh. Can you imagine that? You can imagine that. Yeah, can you imagine? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all the parents say, oh yeah, yeah, so God in human flesh. Now, imagine that doesn't go very, very well. That doesn't go very, very well with the Jewish people. But Antiochus was like Alexander, and he wanted to unite his kingdom under Greek culture. But the Jewish people already had culture, and they didn't want anything to do with Greek culture. So they were very upset about it, and there was a challenge, a crisis of faith that occurred. A crisis of faith, because the Jewish people, they didn't want to call anybody manifest God. You see what happened when they confronted Jesus about this issue. And so behind the fact, they called him not Antiochus Epiphanes, but Antiochus Epiphanes, which means Antiochus the lunatic. So here we have Antiochus Epiphanes to his subjects, and to the Jews, Antiochus the lunatic. But the king is still very, very powerful and wanted to unify his kingdom, and so becomes a crisis. And the king marches with, where are my Syrian soldiers? Where are my Greek soldiers? Who am I? Okay, yeah, my brothers. Okay, good. Yeah, you guys are actually, don't smile, you're a bad guy. Okay, there's nothing to smile about here, guys. Okay, you're bad guys, and you're in charge. You're in charge of these two guys. What do you think? You're in charge of them, right? And so you guys march. I want you to march into the temple. Here's the temple. Go march into the temple and take it over. Yeah, okay. You did. Yeah, press the button. You got to make the sound, kid. All right. Yeah, right. Okay, good. Right. And you, okay, good. Okay, the temple is captured. They took over the temple, and Judaism, the Jewish religion, became outlawed. It was illegal to worship the Lord. The temple was turned into a den of prostitution, if you can imagine. The Torah was outlawed. Remember the story I told you about the dreidels? You know, they couldn't be found with a Torah scroll in their hands, studying the Torah. So they took out the dreidels they were playing, right? If you were found practicing Judaism in any way, shape, or form, if you were found practicing your faith, it was a capital crime. And many, many Jewish people who had, for example, circumcised their babies, crucified. The babies hung around the necks. It's not a very good time for the Jewish people. It's a time of horrible, horrible persecution. And nonetheless, there were a group of people. Where's my collaborator? There were a group of people, like this young lady right here, who, for the sake of the story, is a man. And there were a group of Jewish people who were very attracted to the Greek way of life. They were very attracted to the Greek philosophy and Greek sports and, et cetera, et cetera. And so they really wanted to get along with the Greeks. And so there was really a lot of tension, if you can imagine, between those who would be put to death for practicing their faith and those who wanted to go and get along with the Romans, okay, for political purposes. Well, eventually, with the temple destroyed, Antiochus, or not destroyed, but defiled, Antiochus believed that if every town and hamlet in Israel, in Judea, was also Hellenized, that would be the end of his trouble. Now, I'm getting some feedback here, and it's not just the feedback from these kids behind me, okay? So, in the little village of Modein, the king, do I have some munchkins here? Oh, okay. The king summoned the soldiers to Modein. He summoned his soldiers, okay, which are you guys right here. Okay, go summon them, and soldiers, go stand over there. Okay, because now I got to move. Okay, good. Okay. And the townspeople were assembled, and they placed Antiochus had, I don't have a seat for you here, but if you can imagine, you're laying flat on the altar. Okay? You're laying flat. In fact, you know what? Lay flat on the altar. Get on the There you go. Yeah. But wait a second. You're a pig, right? And what does a pig say? Yeah. Right. Let's get... You need to hear this because it's really good. Just say right into here. That one was juicy. Yeah, okay. Wipe that off a little bit. Okay. Yeah. All right. And they tried to get somebody in the town.
You're not on camera.
To sacrifice this pig. Now, remind me, you're my hero, okay? And you're the priest, and the general, get with the soldiers. Derelict of duty, get with the soldiers. Okay, good. Yes, because you're going to have a role to play in just a moment. You're trying to get the townspeople to sacrifice this pig. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but Jewish people don't eat pigs. Okay? Pigs are considered to be very unholy, unkosher animals. And so, by sacrificing a pig, it was like saying, you reject your religion. You reject your God. Okay? So, you are very important to the story, Pig Boy. And so, the general tries to get her sword. Did you put your swords away? Did anybody give you a command to put your swords? Get those sabers out. Good. All right. You're going to have to go back to basic training, boy. General, I want you to order these guys to try to make somebody sacrifice the pig. So approach us and threaten menacingly with your swords. And you point with the finger. By you pointing with the finger, I'm talking about you, General. Okay. Yeah. Good. That's all it takes, honey, is a look at a finger, okay? That's nothing to save you a lot of time. Okay, good. Okay. And so you're threatening the priest. You're threatening the priest. But she's not going to do it. Nobody's going to do it. But eventually, someone says, I will do it. A collaborator. And so the collaborator comes. I'm getting this combined. The tension of the story is so intense. All right. The collaborator comes, and she's about to kill the pig. But before... you haven't killed that pig yet. Don't kill that piggy yet, okay? Because the priest, whose name is Mattathias, this is Mattathias, everybody. Now, yeah, good. You're making the most of it. Okay, I know. It's a tough road into Hollywood, I know. But okay, right. And Mattathias comes forward. And nobody knows what this priest is going to do. Why is this priest coming forward when the collaborator is about to kill the pig? Does Mattathias want to collaborate as well? And Mattathias approaches and comes closer and closer to the collaborator. And before you know it, Mattathias whips out a lightsaber. Before you know it, Mattathias whips out a lightsaber and kills the collaborator. Okay. You're dead. Let's see the death scene. Which I don't know if you actually ever figured in the story is really very good news for the pig boy. Okay. You can go. You're done. Okay, good. Right. Now Mattathias says, hold your sword up. Mattathias, that's right, and says, the force is with me. And says, no, and says, all who are zealous for God and for the Torah, come and follow me. And so begins a revolutionary war of the Hebrews, of the Jews, against the Syrian Greek soldiers. And guess what? Give me Syrian Greek soldiers, okay? Guess what happens? There's a lot of battle. Okay, this is your big moment. This is your big moment. It's a big strike a pose. Vote. Yeah. Okay, but they're fighting for 3 years. Listen, she's no spring chicken. Mattathias is no spring. You die. Yeah, you die in the course of old age, not a battle. You know, it's not a glorious death. It's just old age. And Mattathias' son, Judah, comes forward, and Judah is known as Judah Maccabee, which means the hammer. And so you'll notice there's a hammer in her hand. And the Israeli are forget. And so she takes the Syrian Greek soldiers and she hammers them. You can hammer them. And that is the story. Eventually, the Maccabees, the hammers, the Jewish revolutionaries, they win the war. They take back the temple. They rededicate the temple, and we get the story of Hanukkah. Okay, so a big hand for That was great. Yeah, don't let it go to your head. Are you caught? Okay. All right. I see. That's okay. Thank you very much. You know how they say there are no small parts, only small actors? Never truer than today. All right. Now I'm remembering why we haven't done Hanukkah in so many years. All right.